Okay, welcome back to part 2 of this crash course in watercolors. Today we are painting a jellyfish. Now it's dry. I have some details that I didn't plan because this is 140 pounds and the water and the color tends to migrate through the paper, and that's what happened here. However, I don't need to take any action now because my background is going to be very dark. And I have to come to a decision now. My decision is or I work on a background or I start working in some of the details down here. And right now, what I'm gonna do is to make this decision. So I'm gonna start this very long process of adding details. So bear with me. I am using a number 2 round brush that I'm gonna use with paint, and I'm using a number 4 that will have only water. So I am gonna try to give you an idea of how I'm gonna proceed, and I can start anywhere. So let me start right here. So I have the same mix that I had before, and why I like to do this is saves me a lot of time. You could add paint and soften it with water, but then you have to clean the brush all the time. So I prefer to use both hands and give us an air of unpredictability. I think you can see how this is being constructed. And I'm using the same mix I applied before. It's very important to have consistency. Don't put too much water like I did right now. And you're gonna keep going probably a few times before you get a sense of movement. Doing this very quickly for you. So again, this brush carries paint and this brush carries water. And of course, you can do differently if you want. And of course, if you want to paint with your dominant hand, you are more than welcome. There is no need to try to do this if you don't feel connected. And right now I'm not too much worried in shaping. At certain point I will want this to look a little bit like maybe cloth you're gonna keep going doing something similar for a while. And this is the time you can also start thinking if you are going to lift any of the paint. As important as putting the painting on the paper is to think if you need to take paint out of the paper. How is variety? And you can reapply and continue constructing this fluffy, weird thing that is part of the okay. There was some bleeding here. And once you get a hang of doing this, you're gonna find it very interesting how much faster and looser you can paint if you coordinate your two hands. Of course, what I'm missing right now is a movie or music. I usually paint with something on the background, or a movie or music or something, a book on tape. But YouTube gives me a hard time with all the copyrights. So I keep talking, which for some of you, you can just take the sound off. Okay, when we finish doing this for all of them, we're gonna do it again until you have a very good sense of depth, because this is gonna create how this is moving on the water. And I probably should put a little bit more orange in my mix. That gives me this feeling. Is almost abstract what I'm doing now. I'm not too worried about what's happening yet. At certain point, I have to worry about which direction I want this to fold. And as you can see, slowly, very slowly, this is taking some shape. More or less what you're doing is softening the edges and alternating darks and lights, changing value every time that you place the brush on the paper. And this is a work of love because it requires patience. Every time that I say that requires love is because it's gonna take some time. But again, you don't have to follow this protocol. You can invent your own, or you can just put paint and put some salt on it, or you can use masking and create white spaces with the masking. Whatever you feel comfortable. And just be careful not to go too dark, right? I did like I did right now. And if you do put a lot of dark paint, come back around. You can go wrong. It's an imaginary jellyfish, so really is up to you to make your decisions. That's the incredible thing about art, is that only you can tell what you actually planned to do. And watercolor is fantastic because as much as you plan, it always happens something else. And I think I showed enough how I'm gonna construct this. And now I'm gonna finish this part offline, and then we're gonna address the head and the background. I think the background is gonna be a very, very dark blue.